Okay guys, I'm back. I know I'm not on YouTube as much anymore, and I've explained why, and I'm kind of not feeling well today. Like, I just have a headache, but I'm going to do this video anyways, so yeah. Here's my Yule altar. I would have done it, I've had it up for a few days now, and I would have done it a few days ago if it hadn't gotten so dark so quickly to the point where I couldn't, film it because you guys know how terrible my camera is. And, yeah, so it's gotten darker out. It was sunnier earlier, but I have my big light on, so hopefully the lighting isn't too terrible. And if you hear shouting in the background, that is because my family is home. So, it's just my sisters and my mom. They're playing some kind of game downstairs, so, yeah. So I'll take you around my altar, and I'll show you some stuff. So, in the very back here, I went with white candles this year because, so the traditional colors of Yule is obviously red, white, and green. And this year, I really did want to do something with red, white, and green. Like, I was really feeling those colors this year. But I, didn't have money to go out and buy a new altar cloth, and I couldn't find anything that I really liked. So I think next year I'll find another cloth that's just white, and then I'll decorate it red, white, and green. And then throw in, a splash of gold just because that's, one of the main colors of our holiday. But I went with white this year, and it's mainly because, these are cheap-ass candles that don't like to stay in their candle holders, and I really hope that doesn't happen during my ritual. That will be really terrible. Yeah, so I went with white to kind of go with the color scheme and to kind of represent snow. We had snow here. There's a little bit over there. We had snow here. We had, a whole whopping 2 feet of snow here, and then it all melted. Every single year, this happens, and I get so annoyed with it. But yeah, so that's why they're white this year instead of gold. So I do kind of have the red, white, and green theme going on in the background. With white candles, my green working candle. And this is actually a gift from Susie. So I've mentioned Susie in some of my videos before. She's the lady who gives me psychic readings up at my work, and she's really amazing. If you guys were ever in town, or if any of you guys know of her, really check her out, because she's an amazing lady. And she passed these out to just about all the workers, and was just like, this is some people with love, and so here's, little holiday gift. So, yeah, it's on my altar. I really would like to have it stand up this way, but it won't. So, this way it is. Until, oh, come on, come back. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, that's why that's there. Then, of course, there's the elementals with their respective stones. Then I have my smoky quartz skull and my carnelian skull on here. And that's because this is still a death aspect to the holiday, because we're still in the dark half of the year technically, and the dark goddess is still really prominent. So that is why. Then there's 2 pieces of lapis lazuli. So I wanted to do circles upon circles upon circles, but obviously there's other things on the altar, and the altar is not, as wide. So, sorry, excuse me. As wide as I would like it to be. So instead of doing 50 million circles, I just have 2 pieces of lapis on here. I feel like you can use lapis for almost any holiday. It's just one of the stones that the energy just goes. So yeah. And of course there's my little starburst of amethyst next to Spirit. Those stones are always there. My god statue and my goddess statue. I haven't explained this in a while, but I'll explain it again for any of you guys who are new. I usually have crystals on here. He has a Tasmanian castle quartz, and that's just fake citrine, but anyways. For the sun aspect and his darker aspect, this is obviously Diana, the moon goddess, and in her arms is the little tiny chips of that, what's it called? Something with an M. It's like those fake stones. It's like gold stone, but it's blue, so it kind of looks like stars. And then there's an actual moonstone in the shape of a moon in there. So she's holding the stars and the moon in her arms, like the universe in her arms, and that's kind of what that's supposed to represent, which is why that's in there. And then there's the Ogham stick for the Celtic month of Elder. There's that little piece and that little piece, and they're actually from the same geode. I know the lighting's really bad. They look white, but they're actually slightly blue. You guys can kind of, that's a little bit better. They do have a really light blue tint to it, and they are sparkly. But this one kind of looks like a baby cradle to me. That's exactly what it looks like to me. So that's why it's on the god side, because technically he has a baby at this point. And that obviously looks like a crescent moon shape on the goddess side. So it works out. I had those there last year. And then, of course, I have my labradorite, which has sparkles on it for some reason. The gorgeous labradorite, which, again, you can't really see unless you're in the right lighting. So, there we go. There we go. It's gorgeous. And I love it. And, of course, I have the other little one. You guys can almost see it. There we go. Yeah, they're beautiful, and I love them. I got this for my birthday, so those are on there. And then I have my big chunky quartz and my smaller chunky quartz. Well, this one's more like a bed of quartz. I wanted the quartz on here because, again, I really do want that energy of snow present, and because they're clay crystals, they kind of look like ice crystals, so that's why that was there. Also, I just kind of felt compelled to put them on here, so they are. This one's usually on Aphrodite's altar, and I do want to use it more often. And here's my problem with having altars that are really tall, is the fact that I can't meditate at them like I can with this one. Like I can sit on the floor and be comfortable and meditate at them, whereas I can't with these ones. So eventually, someday, I will have a smaller altar that's closer to the ground like this for all my altars. That is my goal. So, yeah. So, yeah, they're on here. I have my 2 smoky quartz. They're really great grounding stones, and I love having them on the Yule altar because they were my Yule present one year. I think it was about 2 years ago I got them as a Yule gift. Well, I got money and I bought them as a Yule gift to myself, technically. But I absolutely love them. Like, they are amazing. So, I love having them on the Yule altar. And then we'll go into the center pentacle, as usual, with my 3 garnets, my ring of gold tea light tree candles that I never burn because they're for decoration. Now this, I actually collected from outside. So I knew I wanted red on this altar this year, and I wanted to have natural things on my altar this year, so I went out and picked some berries. I don't know what kind of berries they are. I'm sure there's a certain type of name for them, but I don't know it. So I just picked them, and I strung them together with red thread, which you can't really tell, but they're all strung together, and just they're around the base of this candle. Well, candle holder, actually, which is Leaping Deer, which is very appropriate for the holiday. And so that's going to be my spellwork candle. And then this back here is going to be my spellwork box. So, I showed this box in a witchy haul video. I basically just drew it, painted it, added some crystals in their respective corners on here. And then I drew some runes and symbols and like little fun stuff on, well, I painted it on there. This is my protection charm for my family. So that's going to be in there. And I'm going to add in other kind of wishes and spells and stuff like that in here. And so that will be that. Also, on top of it being a spell box, it's also almost like a gift box to the god, if you guys can think of it that way. Like, I don't know. It's kind of like a present, because that's what it looks like. It looks like a star-shaped present box. So, yeah, that's my spell box. And then just all around here are these little tiny bits of pine cones just scattered about. So, yeah. Then up here, got this at a local Christmas store. It's really freaking pretty, and I absolutely love it, and it's just kind of like wrapped around the bones or laid on top of the bones. And then in the center is my homestone, my labradorite, and my hagstone, and then obviously my wheel of the year. Well, that's not really my wheel of the year. That's the Celtic wheel of the year. So yeah, that's my Yule altar. I also have these. They're LED lights. I had them out last year, but I turned them off last year during the ritual because I didn't know how I felt about having like artificial lighting. I think I'll be better with it this year, but I'm not going to take them out just yet because they are waxed on the outside, and I know if I put them anywhere, my animal's going to knock them over, and I don't want them to like chip or anything. So I will put them out if I put them out, probably on either side of the altar because I don't have room on the altar or on my windowsill, which is sad because I would love to have a wider windowsill so I could put them both up here, but I can't. So yeah, that's my Yule altar. And then this year, I actually got to make a Yule log, which I'm super excited about because I've never been able to make one before because we don't have a fireplace, but we have like an indoor fireplace. We have an outdoor fireplace, which is, if I can zoom in and focus, come on. Okay, well, it's right there. That's our outdoor fireplace. So, it was my dad's suggestion that we have a bonfire tonight, which is great because I'm the only pagan in my family, and I'm the only one who really, like, understands the meaning behind the solstice and, like, the holidays besides my dad. Because my dad is a bit more cultured than my family, like, he's actually been outside the United States, he's been, like, all over the world because he was in the Air Force. He lived in England for a while. Like, he really gets into learning about other cultures. So he, like, knows about the solstices and equinoxes, and, like, he tries to engage with me, like, so it's special to me that he tries to engage with me, whereas the rest of my family just doesn't understand it. But yeah, so he suggested that we have a bonfire tonight, so I'm like, hey, we're actually having a bonfire on the solstice, why not make a Yule log? So I did, and this is it. So I went out today to my cemetery that I usually go out to, and yeah, I found, you can see the sticks on the floor, a bunch of pine stuff just to decorate it with. And I love the fact that it has all the little tiny baby pine cones still on it. I think it adds a bit of character to it, and I love it. And this is just a log from my backyard where we keep all the wood. So I peeled off the bark because it got wet from the snow, and the outer side bark was just keeping it, like, damp. So I peeled off the bark. I used a hairdryer to, like, try to dry off the surface of it as much as I could. And then I poured a bunch of essential oils on it so it smells real good. I think I used, like, frankincense, peppermint, rosemary, cinnamon, orange, bergamot, and vanilla. I think that's all that I used. To, you know, just on the wood of it. And then I didn't glue any of this down. I know some people like to use glue and stuff on to decorate theirs. I just placed them, just placed it on here and then just wrapped it around with ribbons. And then, with red ribbons. And then I just had some little extra decorative stuff in here. And yeah, and empowered it with blessings and magic and love and stuff. And yeah, I believe it's customary to save a piece or a few pieces of the Yule log to not, like, let it burn down completely, and save some of that and then use it in next year's bonfire and stuff like that. So I should do that. It'll probably end up being like this piece. But yeah, I'm super excited. So yeah, I think it looks really pretty. I love it. It's just, oh, sorry, you guys can't see it. But yeah, so I'm happy to be able to carry on a tradition that's, like, actually a part, like, a staple in our holiday that I've never gotten to actually do before. So yeah, and I think it's better than burning herbs as an offering, because usually I burn herbs in my cauldron as offerings during holidays, but it makes more sense to me to give wine or bake something as an offering during holidays, like it makes more sense. But because my family's home and my mother is cooking and baking and all this other stuff, I could not bake anything for our holiday. So because I don't have any like food offerings, and I just didn't want to do an herbal offering, I think this is like a really great traditional kind of offering thing for the holiday. So yeah. That's about it, actually. Unless you guys are interested in knowing about my kombucha brewing. Sorry for the mess of my room. But, so I now have 2 jars of kombucha. So this is what has happened. The first batch of kombucha, like the starter tea and growing the SCOBY, went really successfully and all that. The second batch, I changed out the sugar in it because I wanted to use organic sugar and not like processed sugar, which may have had effect on this. And I also had to change the type of green tea because my dad got a different brand of green tea, so that may have an effect on it. So after the starter tea and everything, I did make 1 batch of kombucha with the changes that were made. I let it brew for about 9 days. But the thing is, it was still really too sweet, and it wasn't as carbonated, and part of it was because the SCOBY, like, it wasn't exactly on the bottom like this, it had turned sideways like this one is, and I don't know if you guys can really see that, but I think it just, like, didn't ferment as well as it should have, so, and, like, my SCOBYs keep going to the bottom. I don't know why. If you guys know why, please let me know, so I can, like, maybe do something to adjust it. But yeah, I find that like 9 days just isn't long enough because it's still really sweet. Or maybe the SCOBYs just aren't, I don't know, fermenting the way they're supposed to. Who knows? If you guys know, please let me know because I sure don't know. But yeah. And then here's my dogs. Macy! Macy puppy, who's a little shit? Macy! Aw, are you leaving? She's leaving. Oh, thank you for knocking that over. This is my other dog, Maggie. She's nearly 15 years old and just lays down all the time. This little shit, we're hoping to mate her soon with my friend who has a male Shih Tzu. So if that happens, I shall let you guys know. This is one of the funniest things. I don't know if you guys can see this, but my cat likes to sleep under here. Libby Lou. Hey, Libby. Hey, Libby Lou. Yeah. You're on video. I just think it's funny. So yeah, that's about it. Nothing else has really changed on any of the other altars. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. Goodbye and blessed be.